we're going to kick it off with 3,000 Years of Longing. This is directed by George Miller, stars Tilda Swinton and Idris Elba. And this is Idris Elba's, by the way, this is the second weekend in a row that has an Idris Elba movie. Now, there is a review on the Film Threat website, okay? And I'm going to share that right now. I'm going to share screen and show you. And
the
review,
9 out of 10 stars review.
It's a very good review. Where is this?
Just go to the homepage.
Should I go to the... Okay, so I got to go to the homepage.
In the back.
Oh, we have a breaking review.
Yeah.
Okay, so 3,000 Years of Longing. Can you see that? Okay, cool. So our reviewer, Tanya Layden, gave it a 9 out of 10. All right. And I will say this. I can understand why you would like... It's... The trailer for this just looks glorious. Okay. The story is Idris Elba is someone who became a genie put in a little tiny glass thing, okay, that gets lost for there are thousands of years between the time that he is released from the it's not really a lamp, but it's just like a bodily thing. He comes out of it and, of course, grants you 3 wishes. And it's sort of the tragedy of all the times that this has happened throughout the thousands of years that he's been encased in this. And Tilda Swinton's character is she's a older single woman who is on a trip to give basically like a TED talk about antiquities, and she gets the bottle and unleashes Idris Elba in her hotel room, and he comes out. He's gigantic. He's so big he can barely fit. Like he's probably 50 feet tall, but he's like kind of crumpled in her room. And rather than immediately take the wish, she starts questioning wishes, like the idea that every wish is sort of a burden. It's like a curse. Right? Every wish will lead to something. So she basically, she ends up in this long philosophical discussion with Idris Elba's character, who is a genie. And as much as I know that there are certain type of people that would love this movie, and I did like Idris Elba explaining, I'm not going to do spoilers, by the way, but he's explaining kind of his origin and the times in which he was released, and then what the results of those things were and what happened, and how he's all the different people he's encountered throughout the time that he's been in there. Tilda Swinton decides to do something different and really question the idea of wishes, and ends up having a relationship with Idris Elba and bringing him back with her to England. And they stay together in her flat. I guess they would call it a flat. So the movie ends up, it's almost like a series of short films, okay, of, the different people who've encountered the lamp. I found it a little too slow moving for me. It's 20 minutes too long, which I could say that about almost every movie I see these days, unless these movies are 90 minutes. And I really wanted to like this more than, this is George Miller, right? Mm-hmm. He did Mad Max series. He did, Fury Road. He, visually as a filmmaker, he's just, I'd love to see what he does, if they ever let him play in the DC universe, right? He was supposed to do Justice League Dark at some point. I think Guillermo del Toro was also attached to that. But I just felt it was just a little too slow moving and a little too... It's when you see the trailer, you're drawn in by all these fantastical things. Those are the flashbacks. The stories happening in present day is the relationship with Idris Elba and Tilda Swinton, and it just seems very unlikely and kind of sad there's a sadness about it. I don't know. Maybe that's how you're supposed to feel. Maybe upon second viewing, I would like it more. I saw this film about a month ago, and it didn't wow me. So if I would give it a recommendation, it would be a mild recommendation, just to see it because A, George Miller made it, and B, you may respond differently to it. I feel films like this are like a Rorschach test in a way. Like I'm responding where I'm like, okay, I know that there's people in the audience that are going to get incredibly emotional about what's happening. That didn't happen with me. So I had a mixed reaction to it, and I expected just a more cohesive story.
Well, I mean, it sounds like it depends on that conversation between Tilda Swinton and Idris Elba. I mean, did that stand out to you at all, or?
Well, I mean, you could rename this movie My Dinner with Jeannie, because it's basically like this long. It's basically a long conversation between Tilda Swinton's character and Idris Elba as the genie. They have this long conversation, and in it, he kind of tells these tragic stories of, you know, when he's dealt with people with wishes. I wanted to like this film more, in particular because of the trailer, but I felt it was very slow moving, which I feel is purpose. It's on purpose, right? Like the stuff that happens in the past, once it tells those stories, but they're all pretty awful, right?
Yeah.
These stories.
I mean, it's clear from the review that Tanya really connected with that conversation.
That's the thing.
Ideas.
I don't think her review is wrong. What did she give it?
She gave it a 9 out of 10.
She gave it a 9 out of 10. So your mileage is going to vary on this, right? 9 out of 10. And it's written by George Miller and Augusta Gore. No relation, as far as I know. But yeah, she says here, ultimately, however, the 3,000 years of longing is about bearing the weight of pure love, and no one willing to ease the burden, yet resolving to give it away freely nonetheless. The movies like this, it almost depends on like what mood you're in. And I just feel like I wasn't in the mood for something kind of slow, long, heady, with these sort of gorgeous historical flashbacks. So not for me. Your mileage may vary, but you know, look, you've got like a mixed review from me. You know, I give it a C+, but then like our reviewer on the website. See, this is what a reviewer on the website gave it 9 out of 10 and loves it. So this is what we focus on Film Threat. It's diversity of thought and diversity of opinion. And so there we are. I don't know. Alan, you saw the trailer, right?
I saw the trailer. You know, I mean, I kind of expected something like this. I think what the trailer was really pushing was its fantastical visuals.
Right.
And that's kind of what I got out of the trailer. And yeah, I think there was, you know, you did get the sense that there's something deeper, more philosophical behind it. And it sounds like there was. And it sounded like that deeper philosophical is what the movie's about, and not necessarily the visuals going on.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I really wanted to like this film more, and I feel like it's one of those things, depends on the mood. Like another film like that, I would say, is Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. I really love that film. It's like a really good, like if you're depressed and you want to be more depressed or realize I love that movie. It's, to me, that's the perfect movie to watch on Valentine's Day. Akanika asks, what about the acting? The acting's great. I mean, Tilda Swinton, she's amazing. I mean, she's fantastic. And Idris Elba, love him. But I will say, I think this movie's not going to do well at the box office. I don't think they know how to market it. This is basically, it's a blockbuster budget, but it's an art film.
Yeah, and it's a star-driven film too.
Right.
You know, you'd never even consider this movie unless it didn't have Tilda Swinton and Idris Elba in it. So, of course, Chris leaves, me not having seen this movie.
You You can go to comments, Alan.
Yeah, I know we can do this. So, okay. So Elba everywhere. There you go. Is it chick flick? Is it a chick flick?
Yeah, you know what? That may be it. It might be because it's a chick flick. It really is more of a chick flick, and it's, you know, Tilda Swinton's character. She, you know, she's a lonely woman, a lonely older woman, and having long conversations about love and meaning of life, but in to me not an interesting way. So I don't know. I think it's what I do think about this is when I look at movies like this, they're very ambitious, fantastical. What was that Robin Williams movie where he dies?
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Now
it's going to bother you.
I know.
Now it's going to bother you. But there's like, it's like, it really depends on your mood. So basically not the Batman. So Tilda Swinton playing Tilda Swinton. Bethel Games, Idris Elba should look out or he will make as many films as Bruce Willis or Nicolas Cage. Well, yes, he's maybe on that pathway. Patrick Lee, I'm surprised this wasn't pitched as a comedy starring The Rock and Chris Rock. That would have been fun. Two War Vet says, he's big, he's huge, he doesn't fit. And that's a quote from me. Not the Batman. He's like, lady, I'm just a genie. It's a curse. I don't know about all your stupid questions. Now they get into it. I mean, they get into this philosophical discussion about love and true love. And she's in fear of making a wish that will make her life worse, because that's pretty much what happens in any tale regarding wishes. Shuxy says, who doesn't like long, sexy philosophical discussions? If that's your jam, this is your movie of the year. Patrick Lemire, damn, Idris, after 3,000 years, you might want to play the field a bit. And then Better Than Beast, yes. Cameron Montiel, Better Than Beast, 100% Better Than Beast. So Beast was hot garbage. This is mixed review from me, but from our reviewer on the website, and we disagree. You know, we for certain films, when there's a lot of disagreement on filmthreat.com, we'll actually run multiple reviews. This trailer truly is deceptive, says Spidey Sensei 72. I don't think the trailer for 3,000 Years of Longing is deceptive. I think it makes it look like much more of an action movie than it actually is, because it's not. It's a long, it's again my dinner with a genie. It's this long conversation with Tilda Swinton, who basically wants to fuck Idris Elba. That's pretty much.
I mean, you kind of get that, but you know, I think there's, you know, they're selling the sizzle and not the steak.
All right.